Greetings and welcome back to the Pride. My name is Muphasa El Matador. They call me the Curious Cat. My job is pretty simple. I help grow your conviction. Conviction to buy, conviction to sell, conviction to hold. And today we're going to be looking at the epic battle that's going to be happening tomorrow. It's Bulls versus Bears, and there can only be one victor. In my game of ideas, being wrong is very expensive. So join me and let's go through the charts. Awesome. Let's jump right into it. We're going to do a brief recap of 2022. We're going to see what we went through and what to expect going forward. I'm going to be going through Tesla today, just doing the technicals and showing you guys what else that we'll be watching at the end of it all. And with that said, man, if you made it through 2022, congratulations. This is not financial advice. I provide financial edutainment. I'm just showing you guys what I go through, what me and my team are always looking at, and I hope you guys have some success doing that. But with that said, 2022 was the worst year since 2008. 2008 was a big financial crisis. There was a lot going on at the time. We currently have a lot going on right now, but I dare to say it's not as bad as 2008. We're only dealing with inflation, recession, war in Ukraine. What else? Yeah, the debt ceiling. And so that's just the top of my head. But optimistic as always. I'm a perennial optimist. And with that said, let's jump into the charts. So, man, I use TradingView to track my charts, and they say when in doubt, zoom out. So what I'm going to do is show you guys this chart all the way back to the last financial crisis, 2008. That's right there, right? So if you look at this chart, it's easy to see that what I'm going to say might sound weird, but we are still in a bull market. And I mean that with shucks. Look at this. From 2008 all the way down to current 2023, we have not broken the bullish trend. It just continues to go up. And I there's nothing else to say but that, we haven't seen a capitulation like we saw in 2008 with an RSI level below 30. It just hasn't happened. And this is my monthly chart, right? There has been a couple of corrections. When you have a bullish move to the top, it has to come back, find its place on the moving average, and then take off from there. This has happened 1, 2, if you're looking at my chart, 3, 2016, 4, 2018, 5, 2020, this was coronavirus, and 6, 2022. And we have not broken below the extremes that we are going to call a big bear market. In my opinion, everything has been on an uptrend, and this is a correction. There are schools of thought that still believe that we are going to see a big bear market eventually, but this is just a correction, and that is just perspective, right? We hit our 50 moving average, and then we bounced to the 21 EMA, and the market is set up in a big fight to push above the 21 EMA and continue on the bull trend. And I really don't know if that's going to happen. So if we look at the weekly chart, you can see that the battle is definitely on right now. In coronavirus times, we literally hit the trend line, bounced off the trend line, and continued going. We are very far from the trend line right now. That's why many schools of thought actually believe that we will fall to these levels before we get into like any really big recovery. But I'm just focused on the price action that we're looking at right now. And I'm looking at this on the weekly chart, right? And you can see that since the highs of 2022, we've continuously hit rejection at the trend line. The 21 EMA has curled below the 50, and we have not curled back. So we're not on the uptrend that we have been used to riding this wave since coronavirus. It was an amazing time to be an investor. Everything touched on to gold, and now we're going the other way. I've had to turn my charts upside down just to survive. But as you guys can see, we have rejection here, we have rejection here, we have rejection here. And that's where we're currently sitting at a massive point of rejection. And that's the war. Is this the day? Is next week the week that we finally break out of this trend line and start trading in a new trend upwards? Or do we get rejected here as we have been in the past and head back to the lows of October and maybe even take that out? And that is the big challenge. That is literally what's on the table. That's the war that I keep talking about. Is this the week that we are going to break above the trend line and start pushing higher? And I don't think anybody really knows, but there are a bunch of things that make me think, nah, man. And so that is that. We're going to look at a couple of things together and um, see where it goes. I look at the dollar, you look at the Dixie. Right. So when I look at the Dixie, I'm seeing that the dollar is literally oversold. It's in a terrible territory. And the last time it came over here, it had this nice push back upwards. That's my weekly chart, but I think I should be looking at this one. Yeah, I got lines on this one. So as you can see, we are sitting right now at the green line is for support, red line is for resistance, and we came to support with an RSI that is oversold. We can still go lower, but I am looking at the Dixie turning from this point and start going back up. It could keep going lower, but the chances of that are really slim. However, nobody really knows these things. Next week is the week. The Dixie continues to fall, then the stock market continues to push higher. However, at some point, this is going to turn around, and that is giving me cause for concern. And that's the dollar and VIX. Right. And I think it's pretty strange when you think of the VIX, right? In the times that we're currently in, when you look at the VIX, it seems as though there is no volatility in this market. And that is pretty scary, if you ask me. We are literally turning around. If you look at the RSI, it looks like we are about to push higher. I don't think we're seeing a divergence on the weekly chart. I'll have to look on the daily. But on the weekly chart, you can see that the price went lower and we just had a flat RSI and it seems to be turning back up. The only thing I will tell you is every time the VIX goes above the 50 moving average, which is my golden line, bad things happen in the stock market. We are literally living in a time where there is absolutely no fear in the market. And that is making me think of Warren Buffett. You know, he said, be greedy when others are fearful, be fearful when others are greedy. And right now, I am pretty fearful looking at the VIX. And next week is a big week. Even here, you can see that we are in this descending channel that we should be squeezing out of soon. I will look at the daily chart later, but first, I also want to look at my baby, Tesla. Whew, oh my days. This one right here is one of the highest traded stocks in the market. This stock is literally like a casino right now. In the pride, we call the head and shoulder pattern that we saw, and since it broke the neckline, it has fallen dramatically all the way to $100. And in that time, it's been a really bad time to be bullish Tesla. However, if you know how to trade, it's been an insane time to make a lot of money. What I will like to point out, I think this is the biggest part of my little session with you guys today is how to play Tesla going into next week. So, a couple of things, right? Since October the 3rd, the 21 EMA has turned below the 50, which is signaling a reversal of a bullish trend and a start of a bearish trend. Since that happened, the price action has shown a lot of weakness. For whatever reason, selling Tesla is is more consistent than buying Tesla. And so I plot my trend line on the weekly chart, and you can see we hit the trend line, get rejection, followed by 3 weeks of selling. We have 2 bullish weeks. We hit the trend line, and we have 3 weeks of selling. 1, 2, 3. And then we have a reversal of conditions. We hit our bottom here, and you can see this decent hammer that called our temporary bottom, I should say, right now for Tesla. And then the last 2 weeks have been super bullish. But here we are, literally at the crossroads. This is what it's all about, is bulls versus bears. At this point, you can see that if we break out, then we could be on our way to 150, 150, 170. I'm looking at 175 with my Fibonacci retracements. That's if we break out. If we get rejected here, we're coming back to $100, and who knows, we might even hit this support line at $90 for Tesla. Earnings are coming up like right around the corner. Wednesday the 25th. And I don't know what it's going to look like. Another 3 weeks of selling on Tesla will take us well below 90. Will that happen? Will earnings come out and just be bullish and take us all the way? It's pretty interesting. When you look on the daily chart, there's another thing that I find to be the most attractive. I trade Tesla a lot. I think it's one of my most traded stocks in the market right now. And here we go. Right, I'm going to blow this up so you can see what I see. So we have October. Let's go back to October 3rd. Right, boom. Brilliant. So October 3rd, we turn over. There it is on Monday. 21 EMA crosses below the 50. The downtrend accelerates. Boom, 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 boom. A lot of pain. Finally, we hit the neckline. We have our bounce back, and now the 21 EMA, which usually serves as support, starts to serve as resistance. It hits the 21 EMA, tries to break through the 21 EMA, and it starts to fall. Boom, 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 boom. Bear flag, boom, 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 boom. Bear flag, hits 21 EMA, try to break out, get rejection. Boom, 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 boom. Fall, hits the trend line again, tries to push, falls, boom, 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 boom. And here we are today. Now, the most interesting thing about this little trend downwards is the RSI. There's a big signal that I like to look at called the 50-50. As long as the stock is trading above the 50, which is right here on the RSI, the 50, then we're in a bullish trend. Below the 50, we're in a bearish trend. And when you have the stock below the 50, the RSI below the 50, that's a 50-50 sell signal. And just keep that in mind, and I'll show you rejection here, below the 50. 1. Rejection here, below the 50. 2. Here, sitting at resistance, still below the 50. Is tomorrow the beginning of a new bullish trend? Will we break above the 50, or do we turn at this major resistance and start heading back? That's the $1 million question. We have earnings coming up literally on Wednesday. So we have Monday, Tuesday, and all of Wednesday session because the earnings are coming out after hours, and that will tell us where we go. It's an interesting battle. I cannot tell you who's going to win. And if you would like to see how we're playing it, you have to come join us on the Pride. All the links are below. and see how we plan to make money regardless of which direction the market goes. Um, all news is good news when you know how money works. With that said, I'm going to show you guys the earnings for the week. And if you would like me to do analysis on any of the stocks that are going to be popping up on your screen, just let me know in the comment section below. And I and my team will do a deep dive and maybe even put out the video. So Monday, super boring. Nothing here excites me. Tuesday starts to get interesting. We have oil and gas, Halliburton. I expect them to beat. We have 3M. After hours, we have big dogs, Microsoft. I like Intuitive. I'm holding that particular company in my portfolio long term. And then Wednesday, the big dogs, man. You have AT&T, ASML, Semiconductor, and Tesla after hours. So you're going to see big swings on Tesla. If they miss, more pain than you can imagine. And if you have the conviction that most of us have with Tesla, that's an amazing opportunity. If it's a beat on Tesla, then we could be hitting 175 in a hurry. So this is a very big day. I will be looking at Thursday because that's when we'll be able to trade the movements in the regular session. I think after hours is going to be wild on Wednesday. And we have my boys Visa and MasterCard both reporting on the same day. That's going to be really interesting for my portfolio. Nokia is an interesting company. I'll be listening to those as well. And Friday, another boring day to end the week. So that is next week is Bulls versus Bears, and we are literally at that breaking point. Let me know in the comment section if you think Bulls are going to win. Let me know if you're a super bear. Ooh, I can't forget Crown Castle, another position that I'm holding. I actually have more of AMT. So next week is going to be big for my portfolio. But the Bulls versus the Bears, who's going to win and how are you playing it? Let me know in the comment section below. With that said, stay tuned, like and subscribe because we're going to be dropping a bunch of videos and a bunch of collaborations. A lot of things coming this year. And yeah, man, with that said, see you in the next one.